Thank you so much for joining me in this teaching, Mystery of the Wise Men. In those days, kings used to have wise men. The wise men gave them spiritual guidance, they gave them spiritual counsel. They tell them things that they need to do in certain area. Nebuchadnezzar had wise men too. In Daniel chapter 2, verse 2, he spoke about the Chaldeans. These are the diviners. Then under them is the sorcerers. Then you had astrologers, and then you had magicians. They advised the king in serious matters. So Nebuchadnezzar conquered Israel. And then he took certain noble children of nobility, princes, that had understanding, that were skilled in these kind of things. And then he began to train them. He gave them to an eunuch. He said they should train them for 3 years in the literature and in the tongue of the Chaldeans, in the language of the Babylonians. So the person in charge of them gave them names. In Daniel chapter 1, verse 7, he said the chief of the eunuchs gave them names. Daniel he called Belteshazzar. Hananiah he called Shadrach. Mishael he called Meshach. And Azariah he called Abednego. So he gave them these names. When you hear of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, he's talking about the companions of Daniel, who we call Belteshazzar. But they kept their laws. They maintained their Jewish laws, their Jewish diet, and they were praying towards God. They didn't follow in the way of these wise men. They were depending on God. And then in Daniel chapter 1, verse 17, he said, as for these 4 children, God gave them knowledge and skill in all learning. They were depending on God. God gave them knowledge and skill in all learning and wisdom. And Daniel had understanding in all visions and dreams. They were different. They were among the wise men, but they were different. In verse 20, and in all matters of wisdom and understanding that the king inquired of them. That's after the 3 years they were presented to the king. He found them 10 times better than all the magicians and astrologers that were in all his realm. So they were better than the rest, and they were at the top. So after a while, the chief magicians, are called, these wise men are called magi. That's what they call them. They are priests. These are the priests of the area. They call them magi. So the chief among these magi came together to destroy Daniel. They plotted against Daniel, and then he was casted into the lion's den. God delivered him by an angel. And these chiefs, the chief of these people, all of them were thrown into that lion's den. So Daniel became the leader of the magi. He became the leader of the wise men. So Daniel began to influence heavily the next generation. Just like Paul went to Athens on Mars Hill and began to influence the philosophers. So Daniel did that with the magicians, with the magi. He began to teach them about the coming of the Messiah. Daniel had interaction with angels. So he began to give them this knowledge that a Messiah will be born in Israel, in Jerusalem, and all of this. So that knowledge was with them. So they began to have that knowledge and to have a perfect understanding of these things. So they passed it from one generation to another. So all the magi passed this knowledge from one generation to another. After 500 years, the group of magi that were at that time came to Jerusalem in Matthew chapter 2, verse 1 and 2. He said, now when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men. These wise men are magi, those kind of people that Daniel was dealing with. From the east there is Persia. You know, Daniel was in that area. Babylon is in Iraq. And then when Daniel was still there, the Medes and the Persians took over. The Medes and the Persians are the people of Iran. So these magi, these wise men came from that area to Jerusalem, saying, where is he that is born king of the Jews? They say, we've seen the sign. Daniel told them of the signs and told them these things that happened. So they came and they say, where is the person that is born king of the Jews? They thought everybody would be aware, but the priests of Jerusalem went to go and check and to tell them. He said, for we have seen his star in the east. They saw the sign in the east and have come to worship him. Usually people don't come and worship a king. It's God that you worship. But they say, we have come to worship him because they had an understanding of who this king was. So they went to Joseph's house. They followed the star, went to Joseph's house, and when they saw the child, they bowed down and they worshipped this infant, Jesus Christ. The company of magi, they were not 3. Because they brought 3 gifts. We say, oh, some people say 3 kings. But they were not 3 kings, they were magi, they were wise men, a company of them that came to worship. So they gave gifts to the baby Jesus Christ. They brought gold. Gold signifies royalty. Joseph is from the tribe of Judah. So he understood this, he accepted it, because the tribe of Judah is the tribe that have kingship. So they brought gold. So Jesus is from his tribe of Judah. Gold showed that this child that is born is a king. They say, where is he that is born king of the Jews? So Joseph understood that. The second thing they brought was incense, called frankincense. Now, Joseph has no relationship with incense. Incense does not belong in the house of Judah. Incense is in the house of Levi. It has to do with priesthood. The house of Judah has nothing to do with the temple. There was a particular king, King Uzziah, in 2 Chronicles chapter 26, verse 16 and 21. He was a king. He was from the tribe of Judah. And then he went into the temple to offer incense. And the Levites came together. They said, no, this is not assigned to you. You are not ordained to do this. And the man was angry. What happened? he received a punishment, a judgment from God. He became leprous. God calls it strange fire. If you are not from the tribe of Levi and Odin, you can't handle incense. So this was brought. The Magi understood that this was a king and a priest. The king priest they had before, that they've seen before, was Melchizedek. The king priest, he met Abraham, did covenant with Abraham, bread and wine, blessed Abraham, and then collected tithe of Abraham. He became the king over Abraham. That was the king of Israel. So this is Melchizedek, a child born in the order of Melchizedek. The third thing they brought gold, they brought frankincense. The third thing they brought was myrrh. Myrrh is oil they used to bury the dead. When the person dies, they use oil to bury the dead. So they were telling Joseph, they understood this, that this person that has appeared, this king priest, is not just an epiphany, it's not an apparition. It's somebody that came physically in the flesh. He will die physically in the flesh. He will be buried physically. He will rise up materially. He will ascend to heaven. And then after a while, he will come back to the earth materially, physically in the body. They had this understanding. So it is called God in human flesh. Emmanuel, God is with us. In Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6, he said, "For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace." So this was a king priest who came to die. He came and became man so that he would die and take the place of man. It was an exchange. He came to pay for sin, for sickness, and then for death. So if he took away sin, men will become righteous. If he took away their sickness in his body, men can be healed. You can be healed of whatever sickness is plaguing you in your bones, in your body, in your blood. And then he took away death. People will no longer be afraid of death. This is why he was born. So the Magi understood this and they came to worship, that life has come, life has appeared. So this is the mystery of the Magi. They understood that God has come in the flesh. Jesus is God in the flesh. This is what they understood and they came to worship. And this is what you must understand. Jesus is not a prophet. He should be worshipped. He is God. Emmanuel, God is with us. This is why we celebrate Christmas. Merry Christmas. I pray for you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift his countenance upon you and give you peace. I wish you a wonderful time, a wonderful celebration. I love you. I'll come your way some other time. God bless you. Keep winning. I love you.